What's up, sunshine? I'm Coy Wire, happy to be with you. Thanks for spending part of your day with us here on CNN 10, your 10 minutes of news with no opinion, no slant. I simply tell you the what, letting you decide what to think. Your news headlines for Thursday, May 15th, coming in hot. Happy Friday Eve. First up today, this. Celebrations ringing out in the streets of Syria after the United States announced it would be ending sanctions against the war-torn nation. Sanctions are a form of punishment from one more powerful government to another. They can target individual people, institutions, or entire countries. They are designed to force people in power to comply with laws and discourage future violations, and they can wreak havoc on a developing nation's economy.
It's important for us to see relief on sanctions on Syria, to help the reconstruction of Syria, to help the Syrian people recover from more than a decade of conflict, a decade of underinvestment. And we continue to support the reconstruction, whether it's physical or psychological, of Syria.
The U.S. enforced these punishments against the regime of Syria's former dictator, Bashar al-Assad, who led his country into a 14-year-long civil war, ignoring many humanitarian crises before being overthrown last December. The announcement came during President Donald Trump's trip to the Middle East, where he announced he would be lifting sanctions on Syria during an investment forum in Saudi Arabia. He then met with the Syrian's interim president, Ahmed al-Sharaa, which marks the highest level of U.S. engagement with Syria's new government. Now to a CNN investigation amid Russia's war with Ukraine. How much influence do social media influencers have on you? Many of us see social media influencers in our socials promoting everything from beauty products to fashion to travel tips. But how do you feel about influencers who might be trying to change the way we think about war? CNN's Claire Sebastian found Russia is training some aspiring social media stars to convince outsiders that a United Nations recognized part of Ukraine actually belongs to Russia. Mariupol was one of the first Ukrainian cities to fall to Russian military control 3 years ago. After this report, press pause, have a discussion about how you feel about some video bloggers enlisted by the Russian government who are showcasing a very different life in the disputed region.
This is Blogger School in Russian-occupied Mariupol, complete with beanbags and a selfie mirror. Run by a project called the Donbass Media Center, it offers free tuition and new skills. Pavel Karbovsky, one of the teachers, only launched his own social channels 2.5 years ago. He tells me the school, founded by a pro-Kremlin news outlet, is not political. And yet the same can't be said for his own posts to his now 36,000 TikTok followers. Just look at what Russia is getting up to in Mariupol, he says here. Oh wait, they're building, not demolishing. This is Mariupol, our Russian town.
My key goal is to show what's happening here, to show the truth so people stop forming their opinion on Donbass by reading Ukrainian comments which say that this is Ukraine. It isn't. Why? We have Russian flags here, Russian passports and Russian laws.
3 years after Russia laid siege to Mariupol, destroying, according to the UN, an estimated 90% of residential buildings, Mariupol is a key strategic priority for Putin. He even visited 2 years ago to highlight the rebuilding efforts. And Moscow is now increasingly looking to social media as a subtle, though powerful propaganda tool in these regions. And it's clear revival videos get clicks. Some are couched in lifestyle content, well-stocked grocery stores, or stylish new cafes. Others directly focused on the reconstruction, the drama theatre, flattened by a Russian attack 3 years ago as hundreds of civilians took shelter. And look how beautiful, says this vlogger who goes by Masha from Mariupol, showing off brand new apartment buildings at sunset. Mariupol's Ukrainian mayor in exile says it's an illusion, one which he believes won't work.
This propaganda, these made-up clips that they are doing now in Mariupol will not help. Russia has committed a crime in Mariupol, and the people of Mariupol know it.
Now to the Midwest, where crews in northeastern Minnesota are battling to contain 3 fires, burning thousands of acres after days of unseasonably warm temperatures and dry conditions raised red flag warnings in the state. Governor Tim Walz activated the Minnesota National Guard this week and urged people in the evacuation zone to leave the area. And some people say they had to flee with just their clothes on their back.
Might have to deal with Red Cross and put these guys in a temporary shelter until we get access to go back into the house. But they don't understand it.
I just hope it gets under control soon and people can get home and they got a home and a cabin to go back to. I mean, they're pretty much at the unknown.
Officials hope that rain and higher relative humidity in the forecast will help fire crews slow the spread of new embers. Meanwhile, a very different type of concerning weather for parts of the Northeast. First, rescue crews jumped into action at a Maryland elementary school that was quickly surrounded by flash flood waters. Thankfully, no one in the school was injured. Our Derek Van Dam, meteorologist extraordinaire, is here to tell us how these floodwaters accumulated so rapidly. Hi, Derek.
Yeah, Coy, this is really some astounding video coming out of Western Maryland. Look how quickly the water rose within the Western Port region. This is a small community at the base of the Allegheny Mountains. Even the local fire department impacted by the flooding rains. But I want you to take note of just how much mountainous terrain is within this community. This plays an important factor in the potential of rapid rises in rivers and the flash flood scenario that often plays out in West Virginia, parts of the Appalachian Mountains. It is this topography, the mountainous stretches of land, that aids in the potential of this water flowing down into the communities below. You can see the mountains in the background and how quickly those roads turn into rivers. Again, the Appalachian Mountains, they stretch roughly 2,000 miles over the eastern portions of our country. Now, the Allegheny Mountains make part of the Appalachian Mountain Range, and the Western Port, Maryland, this is in Western Maryland, is this community here. Notice the topography surrounding this small town. So when it rains 1, 2, 3 inches per hour on these mountains and hillsides, that water has to rush somewhere, and it goes, unfortunately, to the communities and the valleys below. This is why, Coy, it is so important to pay close attention to when there is a flash flood alert, a flood alert, a flash flood warning, or simply a flood warning. Remember that rapid rise in water is when you'll see that shading of red pop up on your weather map. That is when you want to take shelter and seek higher ground. Coy?
Pop quiz, hot shot. There are 5 major garbage patches accumulated in the world's oceans. Where's the largest? Indian Ocean, North Pacific, South Pacific, or Atlantic Ocean? If you said North Pacific, ding ding, you are correct. It's known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Rotating sea currents have pulled ocean pollution and debris into the patch that covers an area roughly twice the size of the state of Texas. Now we go to some news that was out of this world but is now back on it. After more than 50 years stuck in space, a Soviet-era spacecraft is believed to have crashed back onto the Earth's surface. The spacecraft, known as Cosmos 482, was launched by the Soviet Union in March of 1972, and it spent years aimlessly trapped in Earth's orbit after it malfunctioned on its mission to Venus. Astronomers and space traffic experts have kept an eye on the craft over the years as the atmospheric pull brought its orbital path closer and closer to home. At only 3 feet in diameter, Cosmos 482 no longer had the ability to maneuver itself, and the European Space Agency says it evaded radar tracking in Germany. Russian Space Agency says the probe entered the atmosphere on Saturday, splashing down in the Indian Ocean west of Jakarta, Indonesia. Because it was originally designed to withstand Venus's brutal atmosphere, experts say it likely survived the estimated 17,000 mile per hour re-entry in one piece, making it less of a danger to those of us on Earth. Now to a shocking historical find in Argentina, where a collection of secret Nazi documents seized during World War II was found completely by chance. Judicial officials at Argentina's Supreme Court were relocating court archives from its basement to a new museum when they stumbled upon boxes of German government records. Officials believe the boxes had been sent to Argentina from the German embassy in Tokyo in 1941. At the time, the German diplomatic mission marked the boxes as, quote, personal items belonging to its members. But when officials opened the crates, they found stacks of Nazi papers, propaganda, postcards, and photographs along with thousands of notebooks from Nazi groups. Officials are now combing through the materials, and they say they hope to gain new information about the Holocaust and the Nazi Party's operations around the world. Today's story getting a 10 out of 10 goes to a traffic stop that led to the rescue of a spider monkey. When police in Solano County, California pulled over a vehicle this month, it led to the search of a suspect's home, and that led to the discovery of an endangered species, a young female spider monkey. The folks at the Oakland Zoo named her Violetta, and she had a physical done, a CT scan, lab tests, just to make sure she was in good health. And once she's had some proper nutrition care, she will be. Can you believe she's the second pet spider monkey in a 6-month span that's been taken to the zoo after a traffic stop? It's not legal to own primates in California, but staffers at the Oakland Zoo, well, they say that finding these monkeys is becoming a trend.
Spider monkeys, we're seeing more and more of them coming up from South America and being brought into private homes. And it's just not appropriate for these animals. They're wild animals, and they need proper care, and they should be in the wild.
Good thing Violetta is safe and sound, getting some great care. Maybe now she'll find a loving new troop, which is the name for a group of monkeys. Did you know? All right, to all my super troopers out there, we have a shout out going to Mr. Bronin and all of the Wildcats at Godley High School in Godley, Texas. We are so glad you enjoyed yesterday's episode on xenotransplantation. Keep up all the good work in your medical technology training classes, and thank you for making us part of your day. Rise up, everyone. Let's make it a great one. Smell the flowers. Cool the soup. It is Friday Eve, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow to finish this week strong on CNN 10.